The RM of Rosedale is located to the north and west of Neepawa, stretching west to Franklin and north to Kelwood. The total land area is 865 square kilometers, divided into 6 wards, each with its own member of council. The January meeting of the RM of Rosedale Council reviewed correspondence received over the holiday break before focusing on housing development throughout the municipality, as well as attracting and keeping professionals in the area. One big area of focus for an agricultural municipality such as Rosedale is veterinary medicine. It's a critical part of large animal and livestock operations in addition to other farm animals, and educational opportunities for new veterinarians are limited. The nearest school is at the University of Saskatchewan in Saskatoon, where Manitoba sponsors a limited number of spots, but students are often incentivized to stay in Saskatchewan after their training. Council discussed the possibility of developing sponsorships or incentives, whether by themselves or in partnership with other local municipalities, for students and new graduates to come to or return to the area. Council also received a request from the Whitemud Watershed District to approve the clearing of a blocked drain in the municipality. However, Council was concerned they might not have enough information to understand the downstream implications of opening up that drainage area. However, the drain is an existing one, not a new build, so the downstream infrastructure should be adequate to handle the water flow. The RM owns several lots in the towns and villages of the municipality, which they have in past meetings discussed being more proactive about putting up for sale. There are several examples to look to where other municipalities have incentivized buyers through low prices or tax breaks, but there is already interest in Rosedale lots from individuals and developers. The main barrier right now is that the municipality does not have a comprehensive list of these properties and has not assigned prices to them. That is a process that is now in progress, but it also requires reviewing and revising their building policies and possibly streamlining the sale process. While there are a lot of details to consider, there is also some pressure to move on it quickly, as there are buyers prepared to start building as early as this spring. Also discussed during the meeting are meeting minutes and reports from committees and outside organizations, a development agreement, and advertising options in local media.
Okay, NCTV correspondence.
Thank you.
You can ask your question now before the motion, and maybe we can update the motion.
Yeah.
I don't have the attachment to the advertising package.
Oh.
I'm not sure if it's just me or if it didn't come through.
There should be 2. The original agenda only had 1, and then I reached out to him because he didn't send it to me either, and then I attached a second attachment there.
So it's the separate file. Okay.
Yeah, there should be 2 there, so there should be a letter and then another. One's for $16.99 and one's for $24.99.
Is that not that washout there? Yeah.
So
are we on the hook for
I have.
$14,000 for that?
I'd like to go on record as supporting
reimbursed from DFA.
I was gonna say, it should come back from
there's a
DFA.
surprising amount of uptake on those YouTube videos that get posted.
It hasn't been fixed.
I would like to contribute, but
Nothing's been done.
Nobody's listening to Jeff.
Hold on.
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
It's a DFA site. I know that.
What does it say on it?
That's that Burns
Yeah,
Mandel.
that's site 20.
That's that flight area site.
Yep, site 20, and is the other one site, does it say?
So we're on the hook for $14,000 there?
Well, you guys signed off a resolution for $97,500, and this is part of that. So what, this is site 10, and this is site 20.
Okay.
So it will be, it'll be cleaned through DFA.
Through DFA.
Yeah.
We have to pay it up front and then we get
Yes.
reimbursed.
Yes.
I hope we do.
okay.
Jeff, you were saying?
I just want to go on record supporting NACTV because there's a surprising amount of uptake. Like, I'm just using my mom's demographic again, and she's got people that are constantly talking to her about the YouTube videos and watching the meetings on as public access. So I'm always surprised at how much reach it does have. Like, I don't think that's propaganda in that letter. Like, that's the one thing that shocked me when coming down here, is how successful NACTV is. team. I love that stuff.
No, actually, I got a family member that uses that part too, because she struggles reading the paper, so they read it for her, it's good.
It really is. It's a surprising service to the region.
Yeah.
And but the other thing I wanted to mention was about, like if we're gonna start selling lots, I have that personal thing where I'd like to sell RM lots. And I would like to possibly advertise them. So if we could do an advertising package on NACTV for RM lots, it might be a 2-for-1. But that's a lot of money. I was surprised at how much it was. And that's all I had to say about that topic.
So they're asking us to buy one of these slots, is that what they're option to, or?
A straightforward donation of any amount
Or this.
or purchase and advertising.
Okay.
Or purchase the advertising package, yeah.
I
And
give you two options.
And if
Yeah,
we
you
purchase
did,
the
yeah.
advertising, we could put stuff out there like RM lots or
Tax sales.
tax sales, that sort of stuff. But it's more, it's might way cheaper just to put a $500 donation or whatever.
Here for now, maybe, but that's it.
Do we have enough stuff to advertise to justify a full package? Like, is there something that you can think of that we could actually advertise?
Well, there's specific things in there that are added to, right? There's gonna be annual Christmas or seasonal advertisements twice a day in December. So we do advertise already in the banner, but then we could advertise here. We have to advertise when we're spraying for weeds, we have to advertise the tax sale, the public hearings, there's a lot of things that we put in the banner that I guess we could duplicate here also. Like when we do the financial plan and we have the meeting, we have to advertise that. When we do tax sale, we put that also in the banner, we could advertise that here, I guess, as well.
I know we're lucky to have a community newspaper.
Yes.
Because tons of places don't have a paper anymore,
Yeah.
and we should support it.
Because I'm not a TV person, it says, the first one says 30 seconds regular advertising, aired daily, does it have to be the same advertising? Or is that something we could alter, say, once a week? So you could advertise tax sale one week and then something else the next week, or are we hooked into a?
We have NACTV here, so let's find out.
You can't change it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
And then the unlimited community announcements. So, for example, like a boil water advisory, like that, we can just update all of that
Yeah.
in real time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we could advertise for Harvest Sun, we could advertise for the volunteer events, the barbecues,
barbecues, the
pancakes,
pancake,
yeah. We
So
could
maybe
do
that's a spin-off.
those types of advertisements
Good.
as well.
Because lots of the folks that are using this at home, I'll say, are maybe not computer savvy, which is, because I mean, we'd advertise lots of our barbecue, put on Facebook and stuff. And if the people that are watching the news, read the paper, are maybe not getting computer access that some do, so that would help with that too. It's a more community service, of course.
So then maybe do less advertising through the banner then?
And more on the, yeah.
Or is it not, can't do that, you gotta still have it in the paper too?
Yeah, because of the municipal act, we have to post things in specific places.
I think some of our advertising is compulsory.
We want to talk.
Yes,
about
it
that.
is, yeah.
And it has to be put in
In the paper somewhere.
If we didn't have the banner, where would it be?
Oh, yes.
I didn't know there's a law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Sun, I guess. Carberry's gone.
And a specific time frame before the event happens.
They can't afford it.
And sometimes it's
Yeah,
not
they
done.
still do. Yeah, I think it's
Twice.
Kensington's son that's running that one.
Isn't it true? I know Rivers is.
Yeah.
And I think you only have to do it if you have a local paper. If you don't have a local paper, you have to take other steps.
Yeah.
But we can look that up.
Okay, no further. Jack.
And I personally wouldn't want to take away, because I agree with you, like, we're well served by a paper. Like, I quite often argue with its columns because I find them out there, but the paper itself I find valuable.
Works your interest.
It does.
And you-
Yeah, I do. Every week.
Yeah, I do too.
And then I argue with them at my kitchen table. So I wouldn't want to take money away from the banner, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I would.
This would be.
And this is separate, so NACTV and the banner. There's also the banner on here for
Yeah.
this meeting.
has some advantages.
We could, if you guys want to think about it, we could table it as well. If you have any questions, I could go back and ask those questions. And then we could put it on February's agenda as well if you wanted to just make the decision in February.
If we do it now, we get a savings on being $2,500 value to $1,600, $1,700.
Well,
I'm not sure when the due date is, like when they, if that's in the letter.
We were talking about a 12-month thing. It can start at any time.
Okay.
Oh,
And then that pricing would be in effect as well until whenever, okay.
Yeah.
And there's no issues with advertising, like the RM of Rosedale getting the package and then advertising like the Kelwood Legion event, or just, that would be considered a community announcement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
I think it's a win, honestly. I mean, $1,700 is a lot of money, but I mean, it's still, it does things for all communities in Rosedale. They're good if we use it right.
Yeah.
So maybe just to put things into perspective, when we run ads in the banner, it's about $300 to put a public notice in or to put a job posting or what have you. Between $300 and $350, I believe, is what the cost is. So $1,700 for the entirety of the year seems.
yeah.
Reasonable. Well, it covers more days. If you advertise something like daily for 30 seconds of an event coming up in a week's time and then change that, the coverage is way more than a paper.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, but I like it. I'd like to do the top one.
You get a lot of
We'll
people
get
that
it.
listen to that.
Yeah, because I catch myself looking at the back of my head at the odd time in the meetings.
And the thing is, the broadcast on NACTV is immediate, rather than you've got to wait for the next issue of the banner.
Yeah.
So if there's any changes, it's difficult.
Yeah,
Well, I think we should go for it.
agreed.
My thought.
Make a motion.
Okay, any more? Oh.
For the top package?
For the top package?
Oh, should
Yeah,
we
well,
mention
it's
something?
60 seconds, 30 seconds, that's good.
Yeah,
I fall asleep after 30 seconds.
yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, words correspond.
John's quite a salesman.
Whereas correspondence was received from NACTV requesting a donation or purchasing an advertising package, be it resolved that the council of the RM of Rosedale will purchase an advertisement to the amount of
$69.99.
16.
I'm assuming that's plus tax, eh?
Is that with tax?
I'll just say plus applicable taxes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Alright.
You're gonna charge one tax on that.
All in favor?
Carried. Two taxes, one tax on, for us. That's what we should-
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. We'll look at GST back in.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Planning district.
This is just a public notice to let you guys know about the upcoming meeting that,
That didn't equal banner?
Oh, you went too far.
Went to-
NAPD.
Oh, I went for, okay, yeah.
so they're rezoning some land that's right on the border of the RM of Rosedale. So just letting you guys know that there will be a public hearing similar to what Jeff does when we do subdivisions here. They will be doing a public hearing to have any rebuttals, I guess, to the town of Neequot changing that zoning for that land.
Yeah, I read that.
So just in case you guys wanted to go or you didn't agree or whatever, just wanted to let you know that that meeting is
Coming
taking
up,
place,
yeah.
yeah.
So this is more or less correspondence.
Information.
Just information.
Whereas correspondence was received from NEPA and Area District Planning in relation to a public hearing for Rick,
Reclassified.
reclassifying land
Oh, sorry.
with the town of Meatball. Be it resolved that the council of the RM of Rosedale received a public notice as information. Do I have a mover? Seconder, Robert Scott. All in favor? Carried. Okay, now we're on.
Did I give you the, I didn't give you
No.
the banner resolution. Well, I don't have it either. Yeah, I'll have to handwrite one.
Oh, not that.
I know,
More by penning it.
It's terrible. Oh, I put some,
Was that the vet board meeting? I was late for it, I didn't catch the full part of the start of it. But the vet needs to put in some new plumbing. in the building there, and there's $2,000 from, I think, every council around to fix the plumbing in the place.
How much rent are they paying that way?
Who,
You know, people that are using it.
I should have brought my paper down. Because they got all the
I don't
paper.
think they're paying a damn thing.
I think that's all, because it's all owned between all municipalities, the way I understand it, so that.
Oh, that's how it is unless it's exchanged, and all the equipment that's in there
Yeah, I think-
belongs to all of us.
No, actually it doesn't. No.
Well,
There's only some equipment that belongs to us, and
That new x-ray machine belongs to community, I believe.
then there's some that belongs to the vet board themselves, they got in Winnipeg. And then she's bought a bunch of equipment herself too, that she's brought in. I got a whole breakdown of it all in my papers at home. Of what's all owned and not owned, and, yeah.
If you don't do that, you don't have a vet.
Well, that's
the truth.
Yeah.
And she's sure shopping hard. She almost had another vet and then they pulled out and went somewhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, isn't there two in there now?
Yeah, there's two now.
Yeah.
There's a young girl there now. But yeah, no, they'd like to get another third because they're so busy.
Well, we lost a vet. He was, and he passed away. We lost it. So we're
Terrible shortage, eh?
absolutely.
There is a terrible shortage.
It's busy. And there's not enough spots in these schools right now to accommodate. The state's is building 3 more schools, for vet schools. And they're hoping to do another 75 per year, hopefully. But whether they'll come here,
Manitoba bought some more slots at University of Saskatchewan, I believe.
they only have, I forget what it is.
But they don't have very many.
I think they have like 7 or 8, yeah, not very
There's
many.
8
In
spots.
Saskatoon, I think
Yeah.
60,
Yeah.
actually, 60,
60.
Is that what it is
60
now?
slots
Okay.
for-
Cause they were down like 4 spots.
16.
I know. They wonder why there's no vets.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's no vets. Well, then they throw the thing into them that if they stay in Saskatchewan, they'll pay back part of their tuition.
Tuition back.
They don't wanna leave, then they stay there in a vet in
And
Saskatchewan.
I think our provincial government has to do more sponsorship for that kind of stuff.
Agreed.
And that was brought up
We
at
need more.
Reeve and Mayor's, and we have one here on the 23rd, and I think that's gonna be brought up again. But the province better start looking at
Sponsoring some.
sponsoring some more of this vet.
Even if once they get their, like they did in Saskatchewan, so that there's students that went to Saskatoon, make sure they come back to Manitoba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give them
Give
something.
them a bonus to come back.
They have a return of service agreement
Yeah.
with some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring them back home,
And
get them
some of
something.
those agreements, though, you have to be in there for 2 or 3 years, and then you get a bigger piece of the pie or something too, which isn't a bad thing, because it still gets the people back here, right? So,
And why don't we sponsor, like, we're always waiting for somebody else to do it. Like, why aren't we sponsoring a spot in Saskatoon?
that's
Like,
expensive.
I realize that, but
Yeah, normally spots we have.
In Manitoba, like I said, 16, but I think it's.
To
a spot-
Saskatoon?
To Saskatoon, yeah.
But if we have,
I think
if we're
Ace-
spending real money on this facility already and they're short staffed, like why aren't we sponsoring someone? Like if it's 50 grand a year shared between 4 municipalities.
I don't know what it costs, but you gotta get vets somehow.
Yeah,
And like, we put a lot of money into getting doctors at the clinic.
Oh.
We, every time I turn around, you guys are saying we need to put more money into that, but we don't do it for a vet, but you've said it's important. Like, I'm not in the livestock field, I
It's a
don't know
big part of the
anything.
area, livestock's a big part of this area, for sure.
And it's getting to be more and more all the time.
But we're always waiting for the other people to do it for us.
Maybe we could get Carl to bring that up at the mayor's briefings for the local ones that are involved with this, our vet clinic, and then see what they're thinking on that level, like some kind of a bursary or something.
Because it wouldn't be hard to tie it into, like, a Rosedale person or a regional person. It can't be that hard to tie it in and have someone commit to it 4 years, pay it back. I mean, I don't know what the details would be.
No.
But we do it with doctors all the time. The Northern Teachers Program does that all the time. You get free tuition, like when you used to do the teaching degree at university, well, but through Cranberry, and you would free everything as long as you stay and teach in the North. Saskatchewan does it, Manitoba does it.
You
It's
gotta
a
have
successful
strings when
program.
they take off, like,
What's that?
you gotta have strings on.
Yes, yeah. Without the string, you just pay.
Yeah.
Thank
you. But they are.
Sponsorship, you know, what you looking at year one that they're in, because they're in there for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So you got year 1, 2, 3, 4, so where you can
That's
sponsor.
after you get your degree in science.
Yeah, because you got 4 years, 5 years in Winnipeg for an annual there, so.
7 years.
Seven.
Yeah,
Seven.
minimum, yeah.
Our middle daughter's 3 years in, hasn't even went to vet school yet. And you gotta get
She's
accepted.
gotta get her degree in science before she goes.
Well, she's got that, and she got all of
Get
that
into
stuff,
pre-vet.
the 3 years there before, to get all the other, and then mine is to deal with people, some of the classes are just to deal with people. Like,
It's a tough
I'm like,
one.
wow.
Cows are easy.
And that's a whole different course all on its own, but she's got that in, and then she applied for her vet, and she didn't get in. And they say you never do when you first apply, you never
Like,
get
you
in.
know,
Not the first year, you don't.
No, yeah, so the next year this year she's going to Alberta, and she's gonna do a farrier's course on her own, like she's gonna do that on her own, a farrier's course. So in this way, she's working with a bison guy in Benito right now to get that under her belt, and then she's going to the farrier school. So then this way she'll be a vet plus a certified farrier to get further
They have a
ahead.
job at the racetrack after.
Well,
kidding?
well, she wants to work with animals around here. Like she said, she would move back gladly to Nepal and work around here easily.
Well, maybe she can get
The farrier
one of
stuff
those.
is just,
Yeah.
it's tough, isn't it, farrier stuff?
And she's got the grades, like her grades are running
The only person
94.
is a certified farrier, so.
Okay, let's get back to Depot banner.
So I just wanted to let you guys know all of the campaigns that we're currently running through the Depot banner. So cancer care, grad, the fire safety. So those are the ones that periodically or annually we've been running. And I just wanted to know if you guys wanted to run any additional ones, if you wanted to run a Mother's Day one or Father's Day one or what have you. So
Counselor's Day one.
Counselor's Day.
Yeah, what
So
about that?
I don't know if there's any
We
special.
don't get a calendar on that one.
This is the, Depot banner brought this, and I didn't want to print it in color for all of you, but they're running several campaigns throughout the year that we can take. I know Jeff wants to see that first. So it's up to you guys. If you want to continue just doing, these are the campaigns that we're running regularly, plus of course all of our advertising that we're putting in, or if you wanted to add any additional ones.
Well, since we've already run, adopted one for, TPD, I think we just go with it.
I think
Run
stay
the-
with the
Status
basic.
quo.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I can just let the sales guy know up front, we're gonna run these, and then every time he runs a campaign, he doesn't have to reach out and say, hey, are we gonna do this?
Good
It just
idea.
saves me time.
Yeah, perfect.
Good idea, yeah.
They all just kind of blend together, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with these ones, is you're just,
Whereas information received from the Depot banner outlining the advertising campaign. Contains the RM of Rosedale has previous purchase, be it resolved that the council of the RM of Rosedale agreed to continue the following advertising campaigns: cancer care awareness, graduation, fire safety, Remembrance Day, and Christmas greetings. Do I have a mover? Second. Any sure? All in favor?
No, sorry, I promised my inside voice down my inside voice.
That's never good.
I don't know who's winning that argument, to be honest.
New business, water control license, Casper. So this is for watershed or?
Yeah, Watershed had reached out because they need landowner approval because it's in the RM for this drain to be cleaned out. So the email's just attached there. We didn't get the actual application, that will go to Watershed. But part of the application is that we signed off a landowner approval that they can do the work. And then there's a map there as well, plotting the elevations. So they just want to clean out the drain so it flows, I'm assuming, and doesn't flood their land. I did reach out to Rodney at Water Service to ask some questions, but he didn't respond.
So our permission is the road mounts ditch itself? Is that what they're
They're
asking for us?
gonna dig out this drain.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the reason we need to give permission is the waterway?
And because it's in our RM. I think we need to get permission for all the water situations.
Supposedly. That's the rumor.
Kind of a straightforward thing.
Yeah, I know exactly. And being asked is cool.
Yeah. Any more questions or comments? Whereas Northeast 14-16-15 WPM requires a drain cleaning out, whereas the ratepayer requires the RM of Rosedale to supply and
Oh, it should just say AN,
Hey.
not and, just AN.
and owner consent consent form to within their application to construct water control works. Therefore be it resolved that the council agrees the CAO be granted authorization to submit the form on behalf of the RM of Rosedale. Do I have a mover or a word?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, I got a question.
Sure.
We're just saying it's okay to dump it in our ditch. Is that what that's saying?
It's our ditch, isn't it?
No, we're saying it's okay for them to clean out the drain that's on the map down to a
It's,
12-inch.
Where's,
Right here.
like, I don't see a problem here, but,
They're gonna clean this out so it
Yes.
will drain properly.
and where's it gonna go?
I would say further on down here. So my understanding is they're cleaning out this red portion and then it's gonna drain down the natural drain path.
Oh, I thought they were in the whole thing. Just the red part.
I believe so. I asked Rodney that question, but he didn't respond. So that's my understanding of the information. You have the same information I have, so that's my understanding of what's being
I
done.
just wonder why it, like,
They're just doing no different than Rolling Acres. They cleaned out the drain that was already there. Cause silt come into it, so they're just cleaning it up, just make the water flow.
It's
Is that
existing.
correct?
Yeah, it's
That's my
existing.
understanding.
That's my
But
understanding. Yeah.
there's already a drain there. That's why the elevation plots have been provided. And they just want to have it dug down 12 inches or less so it will actually flow.
I guess it's a change of how things used to be done, but
How did
I
it?
have no problem with this. It's his land, and he's not increasing any water on anybody.
Right here. Right there.
I just wonder why they go way over this way with us.
Yeah, so that's right there. I think that's just the elevation marks. Now,
Yeah, those are just the
there's
elevation.
a red
marks.
circle there that puts us that on the work, I guess.
Gonna keep the water moving.
And that person owns that whole block, the same person?
Just up to that kind of yellowy line on the top,
Yeah.
that's the half-mile line.
No, but he's taking the other way, where the water's all going, I think is what Jeff's question is, right?
Yeah, like are we giving this person?
It's a whole quarter.
Is he-
They're just doing half.
Oh, he owns both parcels.
Yes, it's all
Yeah.
right here.
Okay.
That's got that whole lot.
Half of it?
That's the way I understand it here.
Yes.
But that's not ours to police. Watershed will police the landowner agreements that need to be signed. And if somebody further downstream is affected, watershed will say you need to go get permission from this landowner, the same as we're giving permission.
Yeah, right.
So this is part of the process.
This is just part of the process,
Process.
yeah.
And so I just want to have an objection to the process then, because it seems to me that, well, like Watershed is in charge of it, Watershed is policing it, and then we don't know if he's in favor of it or not, because it's such a cryptic email, and he's not here to answer the question. So it's like, are we going against his wishes by saying yes, or for his wishes by saying yes? And if the process is blind, which is just stamp this, then why do we have that as the process? Like, if it's gonna be rubber stamped, remove that step.
Well, the lady that was here last meeting explained to us, right, what needs to take place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you want to do any water control work, you need to get permission from the folks around you. It's your
But we're giving
responsibility.
permission blindly now. We're
Well,
saying,
they've
I don't
already
know.
they've given the application to Rodney.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. They didn't realize they needed permission from us, and now Rodney circled us in and said, hey, can you provide this permission for this guy to do this work? So I think he's trying to follow the process. He just didn't know that he needed to come directly to us to get the landowner agreement for him to dig the drain.
Because there could be a reason why we should say no.
I think it's very straightforward. I don't know why we're being involved. That's, you know.
I guess it's his land and,
The land is located in the RM,
yeah.
so I want the RM to make sure that we're on board.
I guess
That we're aware of it,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I guess aware is a better word.
But we're not aware if there's a potential pitfall.
Well, yeah, we don't have any more details.
So for this little map, you're saying it's only on the 80 acres on this quarter?
They're not,
That's the way we understand it, it's got the red lines there, so that's the part they want to clean out. Is that correct, Melissa?
That's the way I
That's what
understand it.
I don't
So the
understand.
other part is fine.
And they take the elevation of all that, right through the whole quarter, and they're just gonna clean out the west.
The west side.
West corner, side of the quarter, just keep the water running there. There can't be a lot of runoff there anyways, there's no creek or anything, it's just the surface
There's
run.
lots of water there.
Okay.
Sometime.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, but I think it's a good thing for him. He wants
Yeah.
to prove it. I just wonder why we're involved.
Well,
It's not as though we're changing, he's not changing water, going to somebody else or putting it a different direction.
I
It's
appreciate.
just going into our ditch here.
Mm-hmm.
Must be the ditch.
Yes, yes. And it's crossing at the culverts there because the elevations on the other side drop. So there's a 1 foot drop from west to east. So we're increasing flow. So those culverts
Will need to be proper.
will need to be cleaned out, and then that's our on us, right? Or is it? I say it is.
But if this is a watershed run, yeah, I guess it would be our thing.
Like there's a chance that we're going to have undersized culverts there if the water flow changes enough, but
But that's watershed's problem.
that's watershed.
But he's not creating
on
a
our
new ditch,
cost.
so he's not creating a new ditch, so he's just cleaning out our old
Just
ditch, so that's
cleaning out
our
our
old
ditch.
drainage, whatever it's called. My appreciation for this application, or whatever it's called, is we're getting to know, because I know there's drainage going on at home that we don't have a clue about, and you guys in the hills probably the same, so it's.
Yeah.
At least we know Mr. Casper is planning to do a little clean out, and we get a heads up before spring shows up. I mean, this is a blessing. A little more detail would be handy, but
Yeah.
So what's her name there at the water services, she got no issues with it, or she usually the one.
They submit the provincial water service, so if you want to do any water control work, you submit, and the requirements are that you get landowner approval to submit. So that's why Rodney's reaching out our way, and then just providing to us that they're not gonna clean it out any more than 12 inches, that's generally the requirement.
1 foot, yeah.
So he's trying to get a permit to clean an existing drain, and then once he gets the permit, he'll be able to clean the drain with that permit ongoing.
Yeah.
yes, right, keep it.
Just like we were able to do with our drain applications.
Keep it at that spot.
Mhm. And then that's why the elevation is provided, because then watershed can go back in and measure the elevations and make sure he's not below the 12 inches.
Yeah. Well, I don't see nothing wrong with it as far as him going, it's just as long as he's not drowning somebody else or taking out our road.
I don't necessarily think the water volume increases, it's just directing the water where it needs to go. The water's still going,
Yeah.
but it's just directing it down the drain
But
We're supposed to.
anytime you channelize water,
There's no,
velocity increases and erosion increases. Anytime you disperse water, velocity decreases, erosion decreases. It's just Bernoulli's principle. So it's, although it's the same volume of water, like a drop of water at 1,000,000 miles an hour hurts. A drop of water at 1 mile an hour is a drop of water.
Yeah.
And we have, so they have a conference, and for 3 days, they had speaker after speaker after speaker illustrating the benefits of slowing water down and retaining water on the land. And it was met with approval. Everyone seems to agree that it's a good idea to slow water down and keep water on land, unless you're the one person that's affected by that water in your spot that you own, right? Because then you're asking somebody to take a financial hardship before the greater good. So I completely understand why he wants to drain the water, like, or get the drain working better, to get rid of the water so that he can make more money, but more importantly, grow more food. But the greater good says slowing water down is a benefit to the
Everybody else,
region.
yeah.
So that's why I have a hard time just rubber stamping. Because I can't stress enough, I completely sympathize with someone's financial position of, I would like to grow more food more dependably and also put more money in my pocket versus
Holding water for the neighbor.
holding water for the neighbor, recharging an aquifer, slowing down some erosion, saving Sandy Bay a little bit of hassle with some siltation into the bay, stopping some, maybe improving the walleye fishery like over the next few hundred years. Because once you silt out some spawning beds, they'll come back. It takes forever for a huge storm to clean up some silt on a spawning bed, and it's just randomness then. So it's inexorable siltation of spawning beds, random storm that cleans them out. It's tough. So every step like this we make is just a tiny little bit added into pressure on a walleye fishery, and that's just one weird example, right?
So
But
surrounding, excuse me, Jeff, surrounding landowners all get the same notification?
They have to also provide approval for the work to be done.
So any one person could stop this.
Depending on what watershed determines is people that are surrounding are gonna be affected. Maybe we're the only people.
Right.
But my understanding is he's just returning it to the original state because it's been filled up. Now he's trying to return it to the way that it was. And then Watershed has given him the bookends on what he's allowed to do and would like to give him a permit.
I'm good with it.
there's a lot of cleanups that need to be done, but
All over right now.
it's crazy.
Yeah, Governor Harold Burton second, or moved it, seconder. I'll do it better. All in favor? Unfinished business, development agreement patch.
I know they're horrible.
We did the approval for the variance.
Right.
And now we're doing the development agreement to
That was
put the conditions in.
So whereas a development agreement was requested related to the lot 1 in Southeast Quarter 29-15-16 WPF title number 1634435 by Ronald and Sharon Petch. Therefore be it resolved that the CAO and the Reed of the RM of Rosedale be granted authority to sign the development agreement as written on behalf of the municipality. Do I have a mover? there.
Can I ask a question?
Jeff Anderson.
Can I ask a question first?
Yeah.
What, culverts and approaches? Like, are we putting in culvert and approach stuff and going forward?
Yeah.
Once we do that new policy, it will be part of this.
Every development agreement since I've joined has had that they have to do their own.
Yeah.
It wasn't a new thing. It's always been in there.
Where is it in here?
Number 4.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. That's just a standard clause that, because Nebo Area Planning sends these to us, they have the template, and then they forward the development agreement for you guys to review and approve that we sign, and then we'll send that back, and then that actually goes on title, on their title. That's why the title's in the resolution.
Any more questions?
No, sir, thank you.
All in favor? Yeah. Carried.
Sorry, give me a second, Ernie and
Excuse me. Okay, this committee reports.
there was a lot this month. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read them all. I just,
Yeah, it wasn't too much,
Yeah.
We put, we sealed the door and that was not pretty bad. They took a bunch of, well, not much, we took some stuff, but it wasn't a big loss for them because of what they did take. But again, some of it was not even working because it was near the door, I guess. But I mean, the fear of being violated is the same.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
so moving forward for the CAO reports, what I am planning on doing is just putting the updates in red so that you guys just have to skim through the report and see what the updates are for the month in red, because a lot of the items are rolling over. So if there's any new item added to the report for that month, then it would be highlighted in red for you guys to review. But then you would still have the previous information. So say for tax sale, for example, you'd still have all the old information if you've forgotten, and then I'll just provide an update in red for you. And then every month I'll change those to black and then give you a new update in red. So then you can just skim through. If that works for all of you.
We're all okay with that.
Yeah.
Except I don't think my key.
I didn't get my,
I got your the two headings are here, but there's nothing in either one.
nothing in the report.
I know where you are, but there's
No,
nothing.
the PDF.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah, all I get is an agenda.
Yeah.
Get the agenda in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
See, and I was looking for the red
I
ink.
thought maybe I was just crazy, so I wouldn't say.
Well, now that
A lot of blue ink.
Yeah.
sorry. Okay,
See,
so
I was so impressed you got Jeff's question and nailed
I'm
it.
so sorry. So I'll just give you guys a quick verbal update and then I can just give you copies
Please
of,
do.
or,
Now, is this
you know,
red ink or
pure
black
whatever.
ink? Just for the record.
Well, mine's in black and white, so, just that Cam had taken the temporary position, so he's doing well in that position. We're learning as we go. Catherine's last day of work will be January 17th, so the end of next week she'll be on leave, but she'll be taking holidays and such, using up all of her time.
Allison?
Allison. Yeah. We're training the new administrative assistant to take over Catherine's role, and then we're concurrently training Catherine to take over Allison's role. I am requesting to take January 28th and February 6th as days off, if council is okay with that. I had just updated the word worksheets. So we have 234 word worksheets complete, 22 are outstanding and 8 are on hold. A lot of those are culvert pickups that you guys had approved. So 271 for the year of 2024. We'll roll that over and start again in 2025 with new worksheets. What else are we doing? So we in the office have been working on month end and year end. So there's a lot of reconciling and activities and reporting that needs to take place in the month end and the year end. We got Carl to sign a bunch of stuff to clean some things out. The grant application was submitted, of course, for the GRO grant for the fire truck. We haven't received word back from that. On the municipal website, I also submitted all of the gas tax information for 2024. So the road that we built, that we repaired, rehabilitation for 109, come out to 33,000. And then road 100 that we built for Bolds, cost close to $47,000 for us to build that road. So those I've put in.
That was Road 100, that was.
Road 100.
That was
Oh,
for
sorry, for
Bowles, that
Hucks.
was,
Hucks.
Oh,
Hucks.
up there, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
probably,
sorry for Hucks.
That confused look in his face there, so.
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Of course, we had the Christmas party, so everybody's gotten their gift cards. I'm waiting on any feedback that council has on the draft bylaw that was provided on approaches. If you could send that information to me in writing, if you have suggestions on improvement or you don't agree or what have you, then we can do some updating and circulate that around. The DFA submission for the end of 2022, I went through all of the old records and submitted that. DFA 3 submission, which will cover the period of 2023 year. I'm working on that, getting that completed. And then I'm also working on the DFA number 4 submission. All of these are related to the 2022 flood. So all of those I need to submit before the audit at the end of 2024 year so we can make all the adjustments in the system and hopefully bring everything up to date. Of course, a new tax sale year is upon us, so we'll be supplying the list of properties that haven't paid that will be going to tax sale if they don't pay their 2023 taxes. The animal control contractor is no longer working with the RM. His contract has expired, so we need to repost that. And the Kelwood water utility that was forwarded to Public Utility Board at the end of last year, there's been no update on that, so we're just waiting on them to review our application, ask questions, or provide feedback or whatever they are going to do to allow us to move forward with implementing the bylaw with increased rates. Do you guys have any questions? I have a copy here. You can only tell the red because it's kind of a little bit lighter, but I know the things I added in. And then if there's anything else that you guys want reported on, just let me know, and then we can start including that into the reports. And I will do better at attaching the proper documentation.
Yeah, please.
Dear jeez.
I didn't want to make her look stupid at all.
Did I
I'll get back. I know.
Where's the drum?
He doesn't need the help.
Yeah. I'm doing this by myself.
Well, I didn't want to say nothing. It's just me.
Well, I get that sometimes, but I think it's just me. I think you guys get all the information. Sometimes Melissa leaves me in the dark.
Oh, we're all in there.
You're all in there.
We're all mushrooms.
I'll take that one out and I'll put the proper one in so at least you guys have a copy electronically.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. I was so proud this month too because I had it attached like early. Oh dear.
Any more questions on any of that stuff, the RCMP report, or?
That was a quiet RCMP for December.
The Intermountain watershed, there was requests, like, we just have a small portion of, in the RM of Rosedale that belongs to that. Put a request in for that, clean out of that ditch there, brushing.
Good, brushing or the actual cleanup?
Well, I asked for brushing to start with, and we'll see what happens. I guess we actually, the Intermountain watershed, that their main district meeting is in January 16th at Dauphin.
Yeah.
So that's the whole delegation there, lots of meetings going on, so I'll update what I can at that point in time. Like I say, we have a small portion. I have some other questions I will probably bring forward to them, because I think we, our portion of the piece of pie we donate to that watershed is, I call, substantial compared to what we have to get back. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should get in, Chance in, maybe he can, I'll talk to him at the meeting, get him to come in as a delegation and then present it so we can always ask him questions, because I think we only have like 3/4 mile or a mile in there. Yeah. A mile, I guess it is. Not even a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that ditch was built on it was on their budget a couple of years ago for cleaning it out. what's been deleted, it
Yeah.
caused us some snow damage there, so every
Yeah,
year.
so we did have a meeting, just the sub-district meeting back in December, so I did bring up that part of it, so I think I'll talk to him about coming as delegation. I believe he even sent letters as delegation, didn't he, Melissa, and then never did return? No?
I didn't see a letter
Okay,
from him.
maybe not, that's, okay, my bad.
Like he wants to come?
He threw it out there. And like,
Yeah, he wouldn't hurt that.
Yeah, so I think it would be a good idea to get him here, say in March or something like that, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, because we pay a file for that mile of road.
Yeah,
And
would you?
who do I need to contact?
Chances the person that's in charge of doing the works and that, I will actually forward you all the information for that,
Okay.
the proper contact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he's moved up the food chain there, right?
yeah, there's been a lot of
Jockeying.
jockeying around in positions there, type of thing. It's like the local government, but. Okay, but I will forward that information to you, Melissa. so-
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, anything else? Be resolved that the list of reports being received as information. Number one, the RCOP December 2024. The NAPD meeting minutes, December 16th, 2024. The IMWD meeting minutes, July 2024. The IMWD meeting minutes, August 2024. The RSTA financials, 2025 January 10th CAO report. White Mud Watershed District, number 39, November 13th, 2024. White Mud Watershed District meeting, number 43, meeting minutes, November 12th, 2024. Do we have a mover? Seconder. Robert Scott. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Open discussion. Anybody got any more to add? They'd like to discuss. Go ahead.
I would like to get on the agenda for the next meeting to put some sort of finality on selling some RM lots. I would like to put a focus on selling them and having people build potentially. But I don't know that, like, it's not as simple as just selling them for $1 like some municipalities are. Or like Moosomin is giving $30,000 building credits. If you build something, here's a $30,000 check. There's quite a few communities now that are doing that $1 lot again, where if you build something within 3 years, that you don't have to pay the full price for the lot, and you also don't have to have property taxes for 3 years. And there's been a bit of uptake on that. The Federal Housing Accelerator Fund is still giving some money out. There is affordable housing, row housing, and apartment housing initiatives out now that are fully funded. That if somebody got a block of lots in, say, a town like Kelwood, they could access millions of dollars of federal money and loan guarantees to build something like a kin court style building or something along that line.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of things that are in place right now. They're probably going to go away soon. So it'd be nice if we could kind of strike while the iron's hot on that one. And I know, and there's people, coincidentally, there's some people that are trying to buy a couple of lots in Franklin and just want some certainty as to what those lots are going to cost. And my personal preference is that we should sell something for $1, but then the incentive then would be people would squat on land just so that they can have some lawn, right?
Right.
So there has to be some value attached to it, or some strings attached to it.
If you get it for $1, you're gonna build within 2 years or whatever,
Yeah.
or we take it back.
Well, we do have a land
Do we
sale
do have-
policy.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
And
say.
the issue is, we don't have prices set currently for the lots that we have available in the RM. So there are inquiries. I don't think that we need to sell lots for $1. People do want to buy them. People do want to build on them, but we don't have a list together and we don't know what we're going to charge for the property that we do own, and we haven't advertised that it's for sale. So there's some steps that need to take place in advance of, I think, giving any sort of incentivized anything. And then we would need to update our land policy as well. So we had talked about it last year, that we wanted to start getting that list together in January, because people are inquiring and they want to purchase. So I can send the list out to council. We also talked about land we want to retain that we own for green space and such. So we need to just get in the spreadsheet, what do we want to retain? What prices do we want to charge? Or do we want to give them away, or what have you? Currently, I think the policy says they have to build within 1 year.
I think so. I mean,
Within 1 year. Or they have to start.
start something.
When progress has to be shown.
So we can discuss, do you guys want me to send you information ahead of the February meeting, so you can kind of take a
Go
look
through
and
it,
see
yeah,
what?
that would be great.
Okay. So I can send you the land sale policy, I can send you the list of RM owned that we have, and some of the spreadsheet, it's RM owned, but like we can't sell the Kelwood rink, and we can't sell, well, we could, I guess, it would be decided. So we try to put as much notes as we can in there, but if you guys know something that we don't have in there, that would be beneficial for us to add it as well.
So you have 12 months
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the purchase date.
That'd make you a serious builder, wouldn't it? 12 months is a
Yeah.
time frame
But, and then a 1-year extension if there's something.
going on.
Going on.
But it doesn't say it has to be complete within 12 months, does it? It just has to be started. It must commence. So you have to start building within a year.
Yeah, which is, I mean, at that time, if you're serious, but it just saves everybody from buying that land and like you say, just have a lot.
Yep.
That's it. We need to curb that somewhat.
And then if they don't purchase, there's a clause in the policy that we can take it back less 20%, I think, or 25% what they paid. So if they paid $1, we would take it back for 75 cents. Or whatever, 80 cents.
Yeah, and it's 25%.
Yeah.
But there's one fellow that is seriously interested in, like, that's why I'm talking about it now, because there's one fellow that's seriously interested in buying some stuff, some RM owned property in
There's somebody in
Franklin.
Kelwood too that wants to purchase and start building in the spring.
And it's the same kind of timeline for this one as well.
So land policy, the list of owned properties, and then is there anything else that you guys would need? Nope.
Don't think so.
What about the water hookup policy maybe? And for you especially?
It's a thing.
Franklin doesn't have town water, does it?
No.
No, well.
No, it's individual wells, yeah, but it's the RM of North Cypress Langford's water line that comes by.
Right.
So,
And
and
then they could hook up it for,
they could,
They can.
but at some point they're gonna orphan that line. I'm thinking we're gonna have to inherit it and connect it to Eden.
I guess if there's any interested people for the town of Bernie, we could also take our Bernie Memorial Park and make it into lots too, if we needed to. There's,
True enough.
yeah, there's a few acres there, so.
It's discussion coming forward, that's the thing, it's all,
Yeah.
it's not being used for what it was originally built towards.
And face it, more houses we get, more stuff, more taxes we get to
Yeah.
help this RM keep going.
Yeah.
Well, it's even the little stuff like not having to spend RM funds to mow lawns.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Simple
even
stuff.
if you're only saving a couple $100 a year in fuel, like
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
money that could be put towards something productive for you.
Yeah.
I'll send those out so you guys can review them ahead and be prepared with whatever questions, or we can maybe get a document together prior to present in February. Depends what you guys want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the current policy, it says that somebody can make a bid. If they want to buy a lot for a penny, they can. But then it's a sealed bid, and then we have to advertise that we've, for a property without a set price. And then for a property with a set price, council may set property sale prices by resolution whenever they deem necessary. So we can at any time, according to this policy, set a price on a lot if someone specifically asks for one.
But can we sell said property at that price without putting it in a public tender?
I
Well-
think you set it and then you have the tender.
You still have the
And
tender.
everybody has to have the opportunity to
Oh,
bid.
that's what my question
I
was.
think that's what it says.
Yeah, because that's what we got into before, I think. If somebody offered to purchase, but we had to put it out in the paper to be legal and all that stuff.
Yeah, because that's, okay, I'll just take that off. Since it's that one.
it mention anything in there, Jeff, about the standard of a home?
No.
That's part of the NEPA area planning district.
You've gotta be careful with that one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
you-
but they'll need to get a building permit through NAPD, and all of that's covered in our bylaw.
So they set the standard of what,
Yeah, like they'll
Yeah,
have to get a building permit, they'll work with NAPD, which of course works with us.
I know previously that they had to have pictures taken of the place before they moved it, if they were moving it.
Especially if it's a mobile home, then
Exactly.
if it's a mobile
Oh,
home and it's
yeah.
too old, you guys have to approve that as well.
It can't be just a mini home, or we gotta be, say, 2,500 square foot home, not 500 square foot home or something like that. Those are
Yeah.
figures that you want to call it.
That's the only thing, you could sell these lots, what are you gonna get put on them?
Yeah.
Did it change that in Brandon, eh? Now in Brandon, you can put
A tiny home?
a 600 square foot house. Because there's one part of Brandon there that it's all those small homes. Nobody wants a yard. They just want a place to live. They don't want to have to mow grass. They don't want to have to do none of that. They just want out. So they brought it way down. And that's what NEPA was talking about now, is getting theirs down too, because they're down to what, an 800 square foot house in NEPA?
something like that.
You know, because that's what people want nowadays. They don't want a yard. They don't want to cut grass. They don't want. They don't want a yard. Your kids go to school
Then they
outside.
just get an apartment.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. You know, it's almost like an apartment, but on your own plot.
Yeah, they own it.
But the thing is, they only want a 600 square foot home then, so we have a lot size, so should we be dividing that lot? and putting two or
Well,
three
that's the
homes on
thing.
it,
You know,
right?
like
That's the thing, because otherwise we're taking away our tax dollars, and we put a 600 foot home, or square foot home on there, and they got a huge lot. Well, we didn't get that much tax dollars compared to somebody who wanted 1,600 square foot.
yeah. Well, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying that's what they did in Brandon. They got an area now that's all smaller houses.
And that's one of the reasons that, one of the infill policies, like with the, again, housing accelerator, you know, four units per lot, up to 4 stories is a matter of right. Because that way people can make their own decisions. They can put 4 tinier places and have an in-law suite, a grown kid, that kind of stuff, or a rental carriage house. And then you end up getting more assessed value, but people can choose how they want to live. Do you want a massive house? Do you want a tiny home with an in-law suite? And I think it's such a, getting rid of zoning bureaucracy lets people make their own decisions, right?
You go down First Street in Brandon, you see all those lots where there was one single house. Now they got a duplex there.
Yep.
There's 2 houses, and there's lots of them. Like they tear down the old house and they put the fancy duplex. It looks like your house is only like 12 feet wide, but it's 2-story.
And it's gonna be like for every foot of 4-inch sewer line you put in, you can service 4 lots, 4 houses or 1, right?
Yeah.
And so there's some economies of scale there.
Yeah, they're changing that a lot now. Well, it's good, but only you stand more of a chance of owning a 800 or 600 square foot house than a 1,500 or 2,000 square foot house when you're young. You know, you get them back in the market at least.
Yeah.
That's the
Does that
problem.
please mean if we had a
I was supposed to
set
bring
price,
up
we
at the
don't have to
meeting, I
do
had
that?
someone ask me about, is there any way Rosedale could contribute into daycare? Somewhere in Rosedale could accommodate a daycare.
Like Safe Brightline.
Well, I always said,
That's confusing to what we've done in the
Even
past.
school,
Doesn't mean what we've done in the
because
past.
they only
They
use
tried
half of
that.
the school.
They tried that.
I know, that's what I can't understand.
I don't understand why it doesn't work either.
Yeah, like, other schools are doing it, but Glen Ellen, they got one classroom that's all daycare kids.
So that would be.
Because they're short of daycare.
Yeah.
Your 4-year waiting
I'm
list.
confused by that.
Very short day.
Okay, well, the county people has an opportunity to expand the daycare, and they are dragging feet on it.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, like,
Big time people.
there's people asking if we could, you know, if there's somewhere we could accommodate daycare.
Yeah.
You'd have thought with that new one in school, that they'd be covered, but they're way short.
Oh, yeah, they're short, the other places way short too. It's crazy, the daycare and meatballs, they're 4-year waiting list.
So what's the one at collegiate? What's that called, seeds? or-
Seeds and sprouts. And the
Yeah.
other one, there
What was that
was,
one?
it's all by the same, it's all one, it's all the same, or one committee.
So
I know, who owns Buds and Blue?
this
It's all the same committee, it's all committee owned.
So you did
One, two,
Yeah,
three,
Matt would
four,
do it,
seven,
Matt would
eight,
do it.
it's one,
Eventually
four,
they-
two, three,
now they own it
yeah.
themselves.
That's Jen's.
It's under all one
So
umbrella.
who is that?
The Buds and Bloom,
Yeah.
that's all one umbrella. I'd have to get more information. I can talk to Dawn on that.
I wonder if
They own it, I think, or
That's
whatever
right.
part of it.
Yeah, it says
They
the
have
house
one
moves it and set prices
committee
there,
group
and then we
that
tendered
looks
it,
after
tendered it,
both.
blah, blah, blah. So
It's actually, you have at the old
Your
block
steps
building, they
are-
also have a school age program there
Steps
too.
out.
And right where the Buds and Bloom is,
Like,
I think I can't remember, but anyways. There was, they were presented to the town to increase their space at Buds and Bloom, and there's possibly there's some land close by. And it sounds like the town of Depot is not wanting to play ball too well.
For the daycare.
Yeah.
I thought I heard.
And there's lots of funding available, and if the liberal government changes, they're gone, some of that funding may go with it. 'Cause that's-
But they need it here, like, that's crazy,
You need a daycare, you're big time.
Yeah.
Wait till that new hospital opens. They're saying what, they got 167 people
That's
working
their
in hospital care
they-
in town.
They want to go.
They need just over 300
Okay.
in that new hospital, so they're gonna have to double their capacity
Yeah.
of people working.
Lots of
So
room to the west.
you can't tell me all these people coming here are gonna be single.
Well, it's a,
Some are gonna have kids and,
what's a two-family cycle now, both husband and wife are working now, so
Yeah.
the kids need to go somewhere safe.
And it's a tough thing, you look after your kids.
yeah, right now it's crazy.
I want to plan a budget year right now.
Okay.
I think we should just list the sign values to all the vacant lots, publish them, and see these lots are for sale at these prices. First come, first serve. But a 2-year development, a 1 year plus a 1 year extension development, it's so that nobody squats on them. And it's just very much if there's a rush to get on a particular lot, I can't see that happening. But if there's a rush, like it's I guess we could tabletop exercise that one. How do you handle it if 2 people want one?
Same place, yeah.
I went through that in the fall. I tried to buy a cottage lot. It was really fascinating. So, because they took the town and annexed a section of their water lake, and then they sold off lots. And all they did was, here's the values all the way along, posted them on the website, said they will be available for sale in 1 week. And then it was a draw because they had overwhelming response. So they had 1,000 people that wanted 100 lots. And then it was a draw, and then a bunch of people backed out because when they looked at what they got drawn for, they did a site survey and went, nope, here you go, and just forfeited their deposit. And then finally they got down to about 10 lots that nobody wanted. So then they put a price on those and tried, dropped it. And then they ended up with 1 lot left after about 8 years. And then they had a bidding process for that one. Anybody that wanted it could put a bid in, and the town had given it to their development company to auction it off as a fundraiser. And then it was a bidding war. And then they changed the rules for the bidding war. And then they changed them again, and then they changed them again. And I ended up dropping out after the price got higher than the original price that nobody wanted for 8 years. I said, okay.
That's what happens at an auction.
Yeah.
I said,
Could have just went to the store and bought it.
yeah, why now? And it was a fascinating process, but it was, that initial rush was the only hard thing for them to accommodate. And that's why they went. And the province of Manitoba does that with their cottage lot draws that they used to have. I think the last one was 15 years ago. Like for those remote lots, you could put in which one you wanted, and you had to sign a give over, a check or a deposit. And if you got drawn, you either on some areas there was no uptake, so you got drawn and you got to pick your lot. Or in other ones, it was you got drawn and you had to say which one you wanted as your first choice, but then you got drawn in the open pool and you could choose whatever was left. And it was just a crazy randomness of circumstances, right? Nobody got mad, nobody got sued, except for the one in Heckle Island where the parks staff colluded with people and did that scandal and people got fired and whatnot. Like there's ways to break the law, but in the absence of corruption, just listing prices, giving people a heads up, letting them know so they can do site tours, and then selling them.
We're having clear rules to that price, so it's
Yeah.
$3,000 or whatever it is, and the price of this is what you gotta do, and then go from there.
Yeah.
But it's,
And just make it as simple as can be without being unfair. Because this one, I find this one hard to follow.
I was confused, I read it 3 times, I'm still confused, so don't you say nothing.
I only fun there for a moment. That was good.
And then the only other thing I'll put in everybody's ear is that to me, it's like 2 people, like there's a block of 4 lots that somebody wants to purchase to consolidate so that they can do that 2-acre parcel. Like that's 4 residential lots that are never gonna get developed, but now they're 1. Like, is that going to be allowed? Well, 4 lots consolidated to 1 and then build? And then the follow-up question to that is, if somebody wants 6 lots so they have space so that they can expand later, that's their choice. They're gonna pay tax. And are we gonna require them to consolidate? Like, those are not simple things, right?
No.
And are you gonna put a special services levy on an unused lot? Because you can do a vacant lot tax. So if somebody chooses to leave it vacant, you can choose to put $1,000 fee on it so that they're not assessed for the taxable value. You're getting a special services fee or a vacant lot fee. So that way it forces people to consolidate and build.
Right.
Well, I see more, at home I see more of a 2 lot than a 6 lot or 4 lot coming, where you get 2 lots side by each, and you build on one and then use the other one for your personal green space, whatever it may be. I see that happening at home where, because some of the lots are smaller than others, of course, right? But the C6 is a maybe development in my mind. But I mean, I see 2 lots where people would ask for purchasing of 2 and only building on the one.
One, yeah.
That would make sense to me at some point. But how you tax that, I have no idea.
They need one for their pony.
Well, the pony or the garage or the camper, or,
Yeah, lots of things.
you know, because it's,
Yeah.
because we as farmers don't understand what a lot like. If you need more space,
What's
just push
the-
a tree down.
Yeah.
Take it down.
What's the tax on an empty lot nowadays?
Yeah,
Well, that's the other thing, and I mean, if you, but if you,
$10.
Huh?
Very inexpensive. It costs us more to send the
Well, that's
tax
another thing.
statement
So
than we get.
when somebody buys a lot like that, you have to put a tax on it, like whether it's 300 or 400 or 500.
I'm in tax or
It's just
something.
because it's an empty lot now. You bought that as just your extra yard.
But if you got them to amalgamate the 2 lots, and you would have tax on, instead of having 2 roll numbers, you'd have 1, and the tax would be on that 1 roll number versus just its measurement's bigger now. So
Right.
that would be a better plan to me.
the last thing I'll say today, I promise.
Set the back.
The other issue that I can see is if somebody wants to buy 4 lots to build something big, and somebody else comes along and says, I want this one to build something like a house. So you have now competing interest. This guy's willing to buy 4 to build something large. This guy wants to buy 1 to build something medium. This one lot will screw up the other person's plan. What's the hierarchy of needs then? They're both equally valid requests, right? And if they both submitted it coincidentally at the same time, like, would council then have, like, do you have a tiebreaker? Like,
A game of Yahtzee.
well, that's all I want to say about that.
No, it could happen.
Yeah. That'd be
Let's give council the opportunity to actually review the policy, because Jeff knows the policy, because he had it in advance. So I want you
Jeff?
guys all to have the opportunity to review it, because it is confusing in some areas. And we'll need to come up with what we think the interpretation is, I guess, because the person who wrote it is not here to advise. And some things are kind of out of order maybe a little bit, that need to be more in a sequential structure. And it's not written for the if, thens, buts, as is, I want 4, it's, you get a lot, you build it on the lot. That's how the policy's written. So I just want you all to be able to have the opportunity to review it and then see what lots are for sale.
Thanks for that, Melissa.
And the lots for sale will have a size with the 2.
The list that we have, oh, yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, it does.
We
Yes,
can
it
always
does.
dig that part in though,
Yeah.
like later.
Jeff has a copy of it. Or do you have it with you, Bill?
Because that may change in how we want to navigate
Per
the
square
lots
foot or
per
something.
square footage.
Yeah, 100%.
Because some lots are bigger than others, I know.
Yeah.
Parcel size?
Well, and some are in a bad spot.
Yeah.
You buy this lot, one behind it is pointless, it's kind of a silly one.
Just give me a photocopy.
No street, nothing like that.
No, that's.
Access to it.
I'll take a photocopy.
What's that on your pocket, your photocopy?
Yeah.
Write it out quick, Jeff.
Right, exactly, there's no access, exactly. So if somebody wants, go home, use that lot, they already own,
Yeah.
like,
That works out, yeah.
No.
that's $100,000 project, somebody $100 lot.
Well, exactly. Yeah, there's no access.
Right.
Actually, we got more lots to say than I thought.
Yeah, it's in the personal number, isn't it?
Yeah, way more.
Well, some of them we can't sell though, right? Because it's a drop.
Says you, says
It's
you.
a landfill.
Yeah.
And I wanna say again, like there's, under the Housing Accelerator Fund, there's monies available on the federal side for someone to, create of lots and consolidate them in order to put a bigger project, like for example, that seniors complex that they were working on. Like there's money available for someone to
Yeah, I'll
be able
send
to
you
make
guys,
it
I'll
up
send you
and
that
put
list.
together that big parcel.
Dave has challenged Jeff to get us all a photocopy of this.
I will email it to you guys.
Because there's a lot, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of lots.
A lot of lots. There's a lot going on there.
We were talking about putting
You got some.
seniors complex at Calwood a few years ago.
What?
Has that ever, anything happened there?
No, I think they've actually talked about moving here now, yeah. But he was gonna do it right now. And then I went to a meeting about that, about 4 years ago.
I even went out with the female.
I was by, south of the police station. Yeah.
That's
Probably the same company.
Remember the reason?
Group of people, whatever it is.
A number of years ago.
Because I thought there's concept in that school.
Yep.
No, no.
Okay, does anybody else have anything else to discuss? I wanna know what's with the tree and the barbed wire, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, we got, yeah, thanks, Carl.
That's good.
That's where you guys discussed that.
I think that's new decorations for the council chamber.
So our tree here for show and tell is just to let everybody have a visual idea of what was going on the boundary road between us and McCrory, and how challenging it would be to cut up those trees when nails are stuck through, barbed wire is wrapped around, and what are those little
Staples.
staples are placed into the actual.
Did you take that
Fallen
in to get
trees?
prints off of it?
Well, my prints will be all over it because we've been transporting it around the office. So the understanding is that nails were driven in and then barbed wire was wrapped around and then
Oh, yeah.
like that.
That didn't cost us from, what do you call it?
And you can't really see the nails. So of course, when you're using your chainsaw, you wreck your blades or
It wrecks the chain.
wrecks the chain.
Well,
Yeah.
there's one
Or
other
kicks back
aspect
at
of
you.
that, that's, the human aspect is one, but what's it doing to the trees that they're
Yes.
driving those staples and nails into?
Yeah.
Well, this one's not even well at all.
Not well at all. Well, we've had to put it in bite-sized pieces so Melissa could carry it around.
Yeah.
But it's silliness is what that is. It's
That's still going on?
well, the update was nothing lately, but that's probably an older
I-
situation.
It's all cleaned up now, I believe, and then there's been no activity
Because
since.
we didn't get at it quick enough. Everything was delayed, so it got froze, so there's a spot there that's cut out yet, it needs to be filled in. It's a big ditch. So other than that, the rest of the trail has been cleaned up.
Good.
All right. Well, that's it.
That's it.
We now adjourn this regular meeting at 11:38 a.m. to meet again on our regular meeting of February 14th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Do we have a mover? Robert's got seconder. Aaron Sure moved. Robert's got second. All in favor?